attempt wearing this on my hat. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I want to show you guys how I adjust this. I'm gonna have to adjust this one by hand. I try to use the tractor for as much as I can, but sometimes the tractor just can't do those small little adjustments. Kind of wanted to get it flat on the top, so if I want to sit on it, I can. And we'll see. I'm gonna set this over here because it's not working to have it here and try to do really hard work. So see if I can just set it on the tractor somewhere. This is already very sandy. I didn't have to worry about bringing in anything special for drainage, because the leach field is right up there. They just filled in with sand. So, show you the other side a little bit. On to more rocks. This is not a light shrub. A lot of soil in it. This one, much lighter. And a new home for some of my shrubs from home. My mom had given me this one Easter, so it's not one that I wanted to leave at my other property for when we sell it. So here it goes. And some beautiful daylilies that I transplanted that a teacher that I had worked with had given me these, so I split those in half as well to bring up here. I think these ones are a nice purplish color. So I'm going to make a nice home for both the plants right here. I'm going to cut back a little bit the soil. Most of it's sand, it's pretty sandy. The sandy stuff I'm just going to throw over there because that's where we're going to be just putting more patio and stuff with the garage. So I'm going to do that right now. There's a daylily right here. Huh. Well, I want to save that, right? I don't want that one to die. See if I can get this out safely. I'll set it over here for right now. For a few minutes. Maybe I'll make this space into a home for it. Seems to be doing okay in sandy soil, so let me just get some of this other sand out of here. Then I'll move in. Oops. Then I'll move in some good soil. All the rocks that I uncover, I set those aside because I use them in different places. Use them in different places in my rock walls. And get rid of those. That soil is sandy. My guess is when they built this place, they must have had to bring in a lot of sand to level it out here. We're up on the top of a ridge. And they put the leach field right out there, so my guess is they had to level it out for that. Alright, pretty good hole. I'm going to go get some regular soil and I'll use this compost. Well, I'm building a much better home for this little straggler that I found than what it had. Ooh, I see some nice worms. Get this newly found dahlia home. Just like that. And I'm going to need to go get some water for it because it is in need of water. Alright, this thing is thirsty, so let's give it a good drink. Alright, now to continue making a home for my hydrangea, which I'm going to put right here. Alright, I've dug out a pretty good amount. Nice big pile there. A little bit of a pile over there. Good sized hole for my plants. I'm going to get a few big rocks to put right along the back here to make like another like retaining wall right back in this section. And then that way the top of the hill won't go anywhere. And I just have that little planter here. And I'll make other planters as I go along with this rock wall, but all I plan to do today right now. I'm going to pick up a few of these rocks, bring them over to my project. See if I can put this down somewhere to record me. Some rocks to fill in there, and then I'm going to put my two plants in, and then I'm going to try to get some more bigger rocks out of the woods to start filling in more of this part. I might not record all that because it's a lot of work to do that, plus record myself since I'm solo. This is probably going to sink. It's probably going to sink a little bit because of its composted manure, so I need to make it probably a little higher here to account for the sinking. So I'm going to pull down a little more soil. good even footing in this when you're doing this part. Alright, I have a beautiful home now for my plants. Now I get to transplant them, the fun part. So I transplanted this about a month ago. Left it a little longer than I wanted to, but we've been so busy building the garage that I just haven't had time for it. So should have a really good root ball now. Take a look. See, I want to arrange it how I think it looks good. What do you think? Is that a good spot for it? I think that would be a good spot for it. I'll give that one water in a minute. Now I'm going to put the daylilies right here. Eventually when this gets bigger, I'll need to move them, but this is just to give them a home for now. See what they've got for a root ball. Made. See, they've been beautiful growing some roots. Or it has been growing some roots. Water both of these and then fill in the soil, and that'll be their new home for a little while. There we have it, a nice little home for some plants that I brought from my other house. Got one more rock into place. So I've been rolling this big rock right here with my tractor, and I got it all the way from over there. It was between the trees. And I used a strap to pull it back a few turns, and then once I got it back enough, then I've been pushing it along with my tractor. I'll try to show you how I push the rock. Some of that was dangerous back there, so I didn't really want to have the video going. Alright, let's see if I can do this while I'm driving. So I just get the bucket under, and I push a little bit and get it to roll. That's all I do. And one step at a time, I keep doing the same thing. Once I get closer, it's going to need a little more finesse because I need to get it right into the perfect spot. I'll show you one more roll and then I'm going to stop this. It took a little bit of maneuvering, but I got this bad boy in here. Pretty cool, huh? The retaining wall is getting longer and longer, and I have more places now to plant some perennials. I'm digging a hole right here in this garden. I'm filling up my tractor with sand, because that's basically what it is. I guess it's a loamy sand. And then I'm gonna backfill with some good soil and transplant my plants. So I've got my hole now. I took 3 loads, well that's my 3rd load, 3 loads of dirt out of here. I'm gonna fill this in with some good dirt and plant my plants that I brought. Save the good rocks. Well, I have some globe thistle, purple coneflower, daylilies, lilacs, ajuga, and ground phlox to plant now. Because the soil is just thrown in here, I'm going to try to compact it a little because it's quite organic, so it's going to sink a little anyways. This lilac is pretty much bare root. I chopped it out a couple weeks ago and have been watering it regularly. I'm hoping it makes it. Press down the soil just a little more so it doesn't sink. This one I'm going to have to water quite regularly because it doesn't have much of its root ball. But we're into fall now, so it should be okay. Next I'm going to plant my globe thistle. Go with purple coneflower next. I think all the rest I'm gonna put down in my lower garden. Okay, so we've got a start to my little garden here. It will be expanding a little further that way and a lot further that way. I'm adding a little time as I divide things at my house. And then I bring them up here, and eventually I'll have all the perennials I want without having to buy a bunch of perennials. Alright, so first thing I'm going to start with is this ajuga. And ajuga has beautiful little purple flowers and it spreads. So I'm going to put it here and hopefully it just spreads out around all the other perennials that are right here. That's the plan. This one I dug up just today before I headed out here. Ajuga's pretty hardy. I've never had any problems transplant it, and then it just takes over, which is really nice. And now I'm going to put a daylily in right here. This is the one that I divided in one of my previous videos. Beautiful yellow flowers that smell very yummy. This one has already started making some good roots since I transplanted it. And now we have a ground phlox I just dug up today. It has a really beautiful bright pink flower and blossoms in the spring, which is also a ground cover, and it will spread all around. And lastly, another daylily from the same video that I divided daylilies on. I'll link the video in the description if you want to see how I divided my daylilies. This one should also have a nice root ball since I transplanted it a few weeks ago. Actually, I'll come show it to you. So you can see here the roots are starting to go all the way around. That's what we want to see. Alright, the plants are in. Now we're going to clean up and water them. In the spring, this should be a beautiful little garden. And as I've said before, I will keep adding to it. If you find my videos useful or entertaining, please click like and subscribe. Thank you.